YouTube stream. We hope. All right, welcome back, YouTube. Actually, we can probably just do this. The Game Awards. There we go. Does this have links available? Yeah, there we go. Starts in 11 minutes. Yeah, we got some time. Here we go. Actually, I probably just window capture, huh? That should still work. All right, let's get this set up. Anyway, welcome back, YouTube. We're getting ready to set up the Indie Game Awards stream here in just a couple of minutes. Do I have the post-stream one is still there? But that's the Game Awards setup. I don't know if if I put it on this screen though, it may lose. That's fine. It's fine. It'll still work. It's not actually from the Game Awards though. I got about 10 minutes till this starts. How's everybody doing? See, this chat's a lot more normal. Took song coping aloud. Oh no. What do you think about the Vtuber awards? I did not see them. I saw some of the announcements from them. But I'm gonna be honest, a lot of those are names that I know. Those are not names I really watch much of. But how you doing, Brandon? I do too much work on my own. I unfortunately do not get to watch nearly as many streams as I would like to. Doesn't have any oh, because that's just a trailer for it. Yeah, kind of. Oh, I guess this is their first one, but it would be really cool if they had like some music playing in the background here. Maybe I could just put something on for now. I'm going to replay this trailer so I have a sound level to check. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, another Crab's Treasure is going to be here. That game was very good too. I really need to remember next year when I play a game, especially on stream, I need to make like a list. That way I can do a much better game of the year for myself, because I completely forgot that another Crab's Treasure was also this year. And that was really good. It was a very good game. Actually, I'm gonna post this on Skyroad while we're waiting anyway. About 8 minutes. Shouldn't say come see if your game. Come see how many awards your favorite indie game wins. There we go. So with this one, I think this is just awards. I don't think there's any announcements or anything on this one, as far as I know. But at least with this one, because I know there were a handful of games from the Indie Game Awards that I didn't know much about, mainly like the gotchas, but I don't expect to see any of those here. I probably also changed categories, huh? almost forgot to swap. Games. Co-stream. I don't remember if it's co-stream or co-streaming, but we'll do both. Because why not? It's not sponsored like Uncle Chop was, though. 6 minutes. God, it even says on this one when I change out the title. That's so weird. Put Monster Cat on for a minute and play like one song probably. Not drum and bass though. About am I logged in on this one? I don't remember. Oh yeah, it's right there. Not typing. Five minutes. Oh, I'm assuming they're talking about wishlist games that you see that are nominated, not although are there enough? I guess if they show like little bits of the games that would help cover the hours, I'm pretty sure it's an hour. Just realized that someone in the comments right down here says, I hope to be able to participate soon. I'm in the middle of developing a game for the Sega Genesis. There are people still making games for those consoles. Like somebody made a game that like runs on an actual NES cartridge. That's a thing that people do. I don't know why. I mean, just I guess to prove you can, but 3 minutes. You know, for their first event of this, 350 people on here is not that bad. Oh, it's also on IGN. Hell yeah. Good for them. Oh, interesting. Rizzle apparently found that there is gameplay of this, the definitely not AI cat game Catly, supposedly. Like, I don't think I believe them. Everything about that game looks AI, right down to their weird description on the Steam page, but wait, there's the same amount of people watching it on IGN as there are on here, so they've got about almost 800 people now. We had a tough Dyson game of the year. I probably should have like pulled up a list or something just to see what they were, 'cause I kind of forget what was in the running for game of the year on here. There were a lot of good indies though. Countdown time. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Steam replay. I probably should have. I'll post that on Discord later. I played like something like 65 games and I think 50 demos or something ridiculous. The replay. There it is. A lot of people posting this one picture that kind of had everything in. Maybe should be starting any minute, I think. There it is. Played 63 games this year. I'm assuming it's not counting demos. Oh, that's loud. See, I might just be loud for me. Turn my headphones down a little bit more. Relax, dude. Jeez. All right, let's just full screen it so everybody can see. That one person is just yelling, "Let's go." This is way quieter than the starting, like the countdown was.
Friends and family, welcome to the Indie Game Awards. My name is Mike Towndrow.
And I'm Kyle Stevenson. We are a couple of the folks behind 6-1 Indie, a collective focus on shining the spotlight on the indies through showcases and now the Indie Game Awards.
What is an indie game? That's been the big question everyone's been asking since the award season last year. Is it about the money behind the game or some of the publishing?
They were asking that because Dave the Diver was nominated for an indie game, even though it's backed by a huge company.
Spirit we all have, like when you film an award ceremony in a beautiful studio, and then the footage has a ton of technical issues, so you film your bits the week before the awards at home. Don't worry, next year will look a lot better. However you define indie, tonight it means community. Tonight is about the people who are pushing this industry forward. We're excited to have you here as we all kick off something that will hopefully outlive us all.
The IGAs represent a future where indie professionals work harmoniously together, a future that leads towards the definitive annual celebration of the indie scene. It's bigger than 6-1 Indie.
It's time for indie
or
games.
Any individual organization alone. Showcases such as Women-Led Games, Latin American Game Showcase, Wholesome Games, and Dames for Games have all been an integral part of making tonight a reality, along with journalists, content creators, institutes, and more who hold a passion for indies.
We also want to take a moment to give a special thanks to the sponsors who aligned with our goals and came in at the very last second to support this future that we're building towards. Pocket Pair, Very Okay Vinyl.
Also crazy that Pocket Pair apparently reached out to them to offer them funding. They weren't even asking for, they weren't even planning on doing any funding because they just started this.
In New York City.
Now, in case you missed it, the IGAs are solely an awards-only ceremony recognizing the achievements of the developers and their games throughout the past year. There are no new game announcements tonight.
Yeah, it's not the Game Awards.
2 banger showcases earlier in the year, and our friends at Women-Led Games, Latin American Games Showcase, Wholesome Games, and Day of the Devs put out outstanding shows last week. So if you
I've
missed
got to
them,
still
we
go check
encourage
out
you
the
to
Day of the
go back
Devs.
and
Day of the
check them
Devs is
out
usually
after
pretty good
tonight's
stuff
show.
too.
So before we get into the awards, here is a brief rundown on how the nominees were selected.
All of our nominees have either launched or released in 1.0 between November 1st, 2023 and November 1st, 2024. To ensure a diverse selection of indie games across all categories, each game can be nominated for only one general category.
That's very cool.
This
So
rule
you
does
can't
not
sweep.
apply to the community management, industry impact, and game of the year categories. For a detailed rundown of eligibility and how our nominees were selected, head to the link at the bottom of the screen.
Also,
And
cool of them
remember,
to explain
tonight is
that.
a celebration. There's a reason you're not going to hear the word winner tossed around tonight. If your favorite game doesn't receive an award or wasn't nominated, that's okay. There were a lot of games out there. We encourage you to champion all of them in a positive light and continue supporting the developers.
A great way to start is head to the official IGA Steam event, where you can find all of tonight's nominees, presenters, partners, and so many more indies from this past year.
And with that, it's time for us to get the hell out of the devs' way and start the evening.
Our first presenters launched their debut game last year and gave everyone a little case of sea madness.
I see a little cat in the big city. Oh, this is already going to be hard. Dredge was so cool.
Hi, we're Black Salt Games, developers of Dredge. Our first award celebrates a handful of the games that introduced a new
Oh, are they
generation
presenting
of
it?
voices to the indie scene.
Stepping into game development full-time requires not just creativity, but immense courage and dedication. Taking that leap is daunting, especially in the current state of the industry.
Here are the nominees for debut game. Arranger by Furniture and Mattress LLC.
This game was definitely not for me. The way it plays is so
Little
cool,
Guardsman
though.
by Hilltop Games.
Also, this is very much like Papers, Please.
Little Kitty, Big City by Double Dagger Studio.
It was such a cool game.
Loddlenaut by Moon Lagoon. Mullet Madjack by Hammer 95.
I've seen RDR play so much of this. This has such a cool ass look to it.
Worldless by No Name Studios.
I don't. Wait, I do remember this one actually. Yeah, that's like made of light.
And the Indie Game Award goes to Little Kitty, Big City by Double Dagger Studios.
It's a great game. You just run around, cause problems, and wear hats as a cat.
High standard right from the start. That's a high bar. Thank you guys.
There's also
I'm Matt Wood. I'm the creator
right
of
behind
Double
me,
Dagger
there's a
Studio.
cat in a
We
box
created
over there.
Little Kitty, Big City, and oh guys, oh my gosh, guys, and I and everyone on the team are so honored to be receiving.
How many
this
takes
award.
did this need?
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Thank you so much for recognizing Little Kitty. Little Kitty began as a project between myself and my kids.
That cat just
to
stuffed its
teach
whole
them how
head
to
in the
write.
jar.
And it blossomed from there to what you guys see today. I've worked on a lot of games, but this is the first game that I've worked on where people regularly send me messages telling me how much the game has positively impacted their life or made things better for
The
them.
cat's
And-
like, that's
and
nice. Give me
that
treats.
just means so much to me. Guys, my goodness. I set out to create something that would bring people joy, would create connections, would allow people to just relax and de-stress. And it's really touching and amazing to know that this has helped people and that we've reached our goal. I want to thank my three kids and my wonderful wife, because without any of them, none of this would have been
One
possible.
cat just staring
I
at the
wanna thank my
camera.
amazing team, Micah, Pip, Mike, Steve, Val, Corey, Kane, Daphne, Juliana, Alexandra, Kostafy, Shan, Riley, Oscar, Gemma, Lucy, Moraski, Laidlaw, Nicholas, Tom, Arsenio, and everyone else that ever made the game what it is today. I want to thank Wholesome Games because without them, the game wouldn't have had its first initial jettison into the public eye.
Oh,
I
right.
want to thank all the wonderful people at Nintendo and Microsoft. I want to thank our Discord and Reddit moderators, 22nd Century Toys, A Shell in the Pit, Local Heroes, and all the hardworking localizers, IOI Gamer, Pop Agenda for everything, but most of all, just for being wonderful people. all of our playtesters, and thank you to the fans for following Kitty's progress and all the encouragement and support that it
There's a
means
cat in the
so
background
much.
trying to open the treats container
But
too.
most of all, I want to thank the cats who make our lives better every day. Go hug your kitties. Thank you, everyone.
Forgot that came out this year. And so many games.
Games are meant to be played by everyone, so please welcome one of the fantastic folks who's actively working towards making that the standard for our industry.
Hi, my name's Jarves, and I'm a community manager at Raw Fury. But when I'm not doing that, you
The
can
Deuce
find
a
me
plush.
consulting on accessibility in our industry, both in the games we make and behind the scenes. Making our industry more accessible for neurodiverse and disabled developers and players is the thing that I am most passionate about. So it was a genuine honor when I was asked to present this year's Notable Achievement in Accessibility Award. As you'll see through tonight's ceremony, gaming has the power to bring people together, to tell stories and create entire worlds. But that's most impactful when everybody can experience it. Our next category honors the developers who have made accessibility a priority.
I don't remember what
ensuring
Surmount
their
had
game
for
is playable
accessibility
to
options.
everybody, regardless of ability. These developers have shown exceptional thought, empathy, and a deep understanding.
I think
of
most
the
people
diverse
saw
needs
another
of the
Crab's
gaming
Treasure one
community
because
as
it
a
gave
whole.
you the option to just
Here
have
are
a
the nominees
gun,
for notable achievement in
which is a very
accessibility.
funny thing to put in
Another Crab's
accessibility.
Treasure by Aggro Crab.
I mean, they had a very extensive accessibility list for this one.
Elsie by Night Shift Games.
Take a bit. Yep, no problem, Crumpets.
Periphery Synthetic by Shift Back Tick.
Whoa. I don't even know what. I've never even heard of that one.
Pine Hearts by Hyperluminal Games.
Miss-
SteamWorld Heist 2 by Thunderfall Development.
I'm assuming whoever wins will have like a
Surmount,
rundown
a
of what
mountain climbing
their.
adventure by Jasper Opperell and Indiana Jonas.
I forgot about the name Indiana Jonas.
And the Indie Game Award goes to Another Crab's Treasure by Aggro Crab.
Oh, and then it goes to yes, the song is so good.
If you're seeing this, it means we won. So thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you to the IGA. This is such an incredible honor to receive the inaugural IGA in such an important category, which is achievement in accessibility. Hey, I'm Nick. I'm the studio head at AgroCrab. And for us, when designing Another Crab's Treasure, accessibility was always something we had in mind.
Especially for a
You know,
Souls
this
game, because look, you can do
is
that.
Inspired by a genre and a type of game that is notorious for its difficulty, and even sometimes its crypticness and unapproachability by design, right? But you know, for us, that's where we said this is an opportunity to introduce new players to this type of game that we love so much. So when designing Another Crab's Treasure, every step of the way, we designed it with the intent of letting anyone play it. And to me, accessibility just means, you know, how can we get as many people as possible to enjoy this game we made? Why would you want anything else as a game developer? So thank you so much.
That doesn't change the difficulty
Hey,
for people who want it.
We know why we really won.
They gave Krill a gun.
We gave Krill a gun. And the gun lets you kill any enemy in one hit. And you can enable the gun in the accessibility menu. And you can play with the gun the whole game. And that's the game.
You get to just have the story.
Yeah,
It is like the most easy mode it could be.
It was a good idea. And I appreciate the accessibility advocates that we were talking to at the time. Thank you all for co-signing this idea and not making me feel like an asshole for doing it. And, you know, I think what this speaks to is really just the idea that accessibility should be fun. It shouldn't just be an afterthought. It can be something that is fun in and of itself, because that's, again, what games are all about. So yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to my co-founder Kaylin and everyone on our team who just did an amazing job making such a big and impressive game at the small indie studio that we have.
Just keep hearing the
I wanna
song playing in the
thank
background,
our
and I want to like
partners,
listen to that
who
again.
helped us do the incredible feat of self-publishing an indie game. So Kowloon Knights, Pop Agenda, Play Everywhere, Local Heroes, Locket QA. Thank you guys. I want to shout out and thank everyone else in this category. All your achievements are pushing the medium forward and helping accessibility as a whole. Thank you. I want to thank my mom and dad and
To
everyone
think
on the
now,
team's moms and dads.
I was thinking
and your
before, I was
mom
like,
and
I
dad,
think that
and you,
Nine
the
Souls is
gamer,
my game of the
for
year, but I
spending
think that I might
$30,
actually have like
in
it might be
getting
another
Dark
Crab's
Bob's Soul
Treasure.
Chance in return. Thank you.
The writing in that was so good, and like listen to that music.
Yeah, I know my hair's a different color. Someone let PT loose with the crayons. Anyway, whilst we're on the subject of accessibility, it's my pleasure to introduce you an individual who's building a new discovery platform that's focused entirely on gamers with disabilities. To tell us more about it, please welcome Arman Nabari.
How do you know if you can play a game? That's the question that started this whole project.
Actually, I think Soapy was talking
Currently,
about doing a
it's really
series like
hard
this
for
on
gamers with
YouTube.
disabilities to find games that support their needs. It ultimately comes down to a lot of manual research, and that's hours upon hours of trying to use search engines, looking at different reviews to discern whether or not a game supports someone's needs. And sometimes for certain needs like content triggers or different forms of accessibility, you really don't know unless you're also willing to potentially get spoiled for a game's story. So we wanted to make a spoiler-free, easy, accessible, fast way to find out, does a game meet my accessibility needs? My name is Arman Nobari. I have founded a studio called Good Trouble, and we're making a new way to discover accessible games called Able to Play. Able to Play is a website where gamers can discover games based on their personal accessibility needs. It's super easy to find a game on Able to Play. You add your needs and preferences to your accessibility profile. It's completely private and secure. And then when you browse games, you'll get a personalized accessibility score on every game that shows you exactly how well it meets your specific needs and preferences. We make it really, really easy to just browse and immediately see how well a game supports your needs. Click into it, get all the details, you get a summary. It's really, really easy to use. It's completely free, and it's completely private and encrypted.
Hi, Wizard.
This project was inspired from a chapter earlier in life.
Ominous
I was in the
Wizard
hospital
box is
going through
here.
Chemotherapy, fighting, and eventually beat cancer. And games are what got me through that experience. You know, I would escape to whole other worlds going through chemo. But for friends in the hospital that I was meeting, they couldn't jump in and play games like I could due to various accessibility challenges. That experience really stuck with me over the years. And at a certain point, I just said, you know, there has to be a better way to discover if a game is accessible enough for you to play. Over the last year, we've spoken to thousands of gamers with disabilities, and we learned there's no one-size-fits-all magic accessibility solution.
Yeah, this is literally
Everyone's
the first time
needs
I've
are
heard of a
so nuanced
website
and
doing this at
personal.
all.
So building a platform that really supports that and adapts to each user was really our North Star in guiding how we built Able to Play. Personally, as a cancer survivor, I live with a disability, and around 1 in 3 gamers do too. So whether you need subtitles of a certain size, support for color blindness or more, or you're someone with very specific content requirements for the games you play, Able to Play is for you. I invite you to join us on Able to Play, and I hope you discover a new favorite game, because everyone deserves to play their way. Thank you.
Very cool.
Whether it's volleyballs or paintbrushes, our next presenter knows the fundamentals of making a visually dynamic game pop off the screen.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a really cool thing. Like I said, I haven't heard of anything like that that exists at all.
Chicory, Colorful Tale, and Wandersong, and I'm here today to present to you the nominees for the Visual Design Award. Visual design is probably one of my favorite aspects of games to work on. I think visuals are a really, really important part of any game project because they are
Usually it's the first thing that you're going to notice.
The soul of what your game is. You know, by making decisions about what to show and what not to show and how to show it, you kind of make decisions about, you know, what your vision of the world is and what your universe
Hey, thanks for the follow too.
is about, right? But there is also the thing that the first thing players will see and what draws them into your game in the first place. So
I don't know if you saw, but another Crab's Treasure
really
won
important part of any
the
game direction
accessibility
is what
award too.
your
Their
art looks like.
accessibility list was
So we're here today
crazy.
to celebrate some nominees that have made
Very
awesome
detailed.
projects that look both gorgeous and are using their art as a holistically interesting part of the experience. So yeah, here are the nominees for visual design. Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus.
Oh, is
by
gorgeous.
Squaresoft
I still need to
Studios.
play this. I have it. I backed it. I actually helped alpha test this, and I still haven't
Girl
gotten
Country
to it.
by SFB Games.
This is gonna be a rough like pick for me because like this looks so good from like such an
Harold
old
Halibut
style.
by Slow Bros.
And if I remember right, this one is claymation.
Haunty by Moonloop Games.
I don't think I've seen Haunty before.
The Plucky Squire by
Lucky
All
Squire is also
Possible
so cool
Futures.
looking. Like the way the style changes on it too.
And Ultros by Hadouken.
This game is a color like splash. Also one of the like most weird Metroidvanias I think I've played in a while.
And the Indie Game Award goes to Harold Halibut by Slow Bros.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Nothing looks like this thing.
Hi, my name is Onat, and I'm the director and composer of Harold Halibut. And on behalf of our entire team, I would like to say how deeply honored and grateful we are to receive this award for visual
I cannot
design.
imagine that making this
Thank
was
you to the Indie
easy.
Game Awards organizers and judges. It truly
Had a
means the
Yu-Gi-Oh!
world
I
to
think
us.
so. I was trying to
For
figure out
those
if it
of
was
you who might
Magic
not
or
know, we
Yu-Gi-Oh! But I'm
spent
pretty
a
sure it's
huge
Yu-Gi-Oh!
portion of our lives working on this game. 13 years, in fact, which
God.
in fact is a third of my life. And we had moments where we wondered if this ambitious idea would ever see the light of day. But here we are, finally sharing this world with you. The heart and soul of Harold Halibut lie in its handmade approach. Every character, every set piece, every tiny prop you see in the game and on the screen was sculpted, painted, and assembled by hand. We wanted
That's
to
why it
create
took
something that
13
felt
years.
tactile and alive. Something that reminded of classic stop-motion animations, yet pushed the boundaries of what a modern game could look like. To be recognized for this effort with the award for visual design is incredibly gratifying. This award really belongs to the entire team. Every single person who poured their creativity, sweat, and occasional tears into Harold Halibut, thank you. You stuck around through the ups, the downs, and the weird experimental phases. We also want to thank our supporters and
So
community.
think of what it like
Your
what you have to do to like,
encouragement
oh, we got to
made
change the
tough times
scene. You have
easier.
to just like
Every
get
kind
all
word,
those
every
models
keep
back.
going helped. I guess if there is
I'd
one
imagine
thing
you have to
to
just
take away
storyboard
from
this
is
very well
that
ahead of time.
Passion projects can take their time, but they're worth it. Anyway, thank you for this award. It feels a bit wild to be finally talking about a finished game after 13 years of probably next year. We are so grateful, and we hope you enjoy Harold Halibut as much as we enjoyed making it. Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Well, I think they show a real of it again. Like, look at this.
If you
Wild.
played Sorry We're Closed recently, you've probably found yourself bobbing your head to the beats of our next presenters.
I'm not the victim, I am the system. I'm not in the wrong with my infinite wisdom.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Elder Mikey's.
And this is Master, and we are Okamura. Now, let's talk music, right? Music has the ability to deepen immersion. It can bring out emotion, and it can create long-lasting impressions.
Literally me when they
in
announced when they showed another
knows
Crab's
how to
Treasure, just the
use
music just bopping.
to elevate the player.
Oh, Harold Halibut, yeah, it's wild
I'm
looking, right?
talking the haunting melodies that linger as the screen is fading black. I'm talking the sweeping scores that are driving the hearts and the souls. Look, at the end of the day, the right kind of music, that's transforming the soul of the game.
I ain't gonna hold you. That joint just might be a banger for real.
It's facts.
With that being said, here's the nominees for music. Core Keeper by Pug Storm and composer Jonathan Gear.
I would not have expected this game to have. I haven't played it, but would not expect the music in a game like this to be a standout.
Flock by Hollow Ponds and composer Eli Rainsbury.
This one I would absolutely expect to have music like this. But I also saw the Cub in here. Again, another game I forgot was
Pacific
this year.
Drive by Ironwood Studios.
Sulfur and smoke glows through the
Keep seeing this and I keep thinking about playing it. It seems like such a cool idea. Like Stalker, but it's a car.
By Demagogue Studio and composers Shane Barry and Igor Simic.
Yeah, oh, you know what? It's because of the radio station, wasn't it? I forgot all about that.
By Puddle Studio and composer Brian Gibson.
Thrasher, this is the, I think I know what this game is. They also did the On Rails, like,
And Wild
rhythm
Bastards
game.
by Blue Manchu and composer Ryan Roth.
I don't even know. I can't, like, they're all really good.
And the Indie Game Award goes to?
Man, them folk at Ironwood Studios for Pacific Drive.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You skirting. I swerve when I drive. Let's get it.
Hey everyone, I'm Will Roger, composer of Pacific Drive, and I'd like to thank the Indie Game Awards for choosing our game in the Best Music category. This year had some fantastic soundtracks in the indie scene, and so it's an incredible honor to be recognized along with the other nominees.
Notice the bear.
Pacific Drive was a rare treat for me as a composer, being able to score a game that takes place right in our backyard here in the Pacific Northwest, and to craft every single sound from scratch without any preconceptions of genre. I'd like to recognize D'Anthony Wooten and Sam Suggs for their performances on my score, as well as the over 20 different bands who contributed to our radio soundtrack. I'd also like to thank the brilliant dev team at Ironwood Studios and everyone who contributed to bringing this game to life. And last but not least, my warmest thanks to all of the fans of Pacific Drive. Thank you.
Seen it go on sale twice, and every time I'm like, I should just grab it. There's another game that seems very like creepy without being full-scale horror.
Introducing drag to players who might not be familiar with the culture. We're thrilled to have them on the show to help us recognize other trailblazers who have made a significant impact on the industry this year.
Hi, I'm Ian, and this is Jess. We're two of the developers behind Drag Her, a 2D fighting game showcasing drag royalty.
Some studios don't just create games, they change the industry. Throughout the night, we'll be honoring 4 trailblazers whose actions speak louder than words. Studios, individuals, and organizations making a lasting impact and setting new standards for innovation, inclusivity, sustainability, and creativity.
Their groundbreaking efforts are not only shaping the future of our industry, but inspiring the next generation of developers to dream bigger and bolder.
Strange Scaffold is one of the craziest dev studios I've been keeping an eye on. They're just constantly making
I speak
things.
on behalf of myself and everyone at the studio who I get to collaborate with when I say just how much it means to be recognized in this way. Thank you so much for this honor. And I'm now recording this just straight off my phone in a vertical format to be as authentic as possible, especially for those who are familiar with my TikTok presence, speaking from the heart sincerely with as few bells and whistles as possible. To make a very long story short, I never intended Strange Scaffold to be a monolithic idea of what a quote-unquote good indie studio can or should be. I hope it demonstrates is what's possible if at every layer of a studio, much like a game design problem, you work from your value.
This guy is
I don't want to bring
hilarious.
perfect things into the world, even if that were possible. I want to bring more things into the world with collaborators who are empowered and can go on to, in their own communities, with
Me
their
after
own
my
visions of
ATV gets stuck in a
games,
building, I have to run
continue
to all
make
the
games in
satellite.
ways that make them feel strong and safe. I get to work from those values every day because I have had the extreme blessing to run into a cavalcade of extremely talented and
Can't
good
handle this.
people. People like Tom Vanita and Meredith Hall and Kawatiano and Candace Udert and RJ Lake and Romero Bonackhausen. The names go on and on. Thanks to all those people.
He's
and
amazing.
Many, many more. Strange
His studio,
Scaffold
I
has had
swear,
the
is working on
opportunity
like
to ship
always working on
15
like
games
4
in 5
games at a
years,
time.
and we've got a lot more on the way. So to end this somewhat long-winded
Oh my
acceptance,
God, is that supposed to
I
be the,
really hope
the
that
Navi
this is the
from
takeaway for
Avatar?
people who are watching what Strange Scaffold is doing and has done over the past few years. It's that a game studio is not a binary template of a thing that you do.
We're also working on a kaiju horror co-op cooking game, I think.
Not with
is like the
giant
thing that
spiky
I'm
furniture
waiting, I'm
just because
watching them
that's what
for
someone
next.
tells you makes a home good. Smash.
And we all sing. Break shit, kill people, break shit, kill people, break shit, kill people, break shit. Break shit, kill people, break shit.
So this is I'm Your Beast, which is like I don't even know how to explain what that is, and it's already gone, and they're going on to the next thing.
Our next guest understands it's not the size of the game that matters, but the impact they can make.
Hi, this is Ben Laserbeam, Program Director of the Playtopia Festival and a member of the video game band.
Was that
Team
Mount Your
Laserbeam.
Friends, or was that
Over the
just
last
something that
decade,
looks
Team
like it?
Laserbeam has been committed to creating aggressively short punk games that deliver maximum impact in the shortest time possible. So I'm really honored to be presenting the Bite Size Game Award. I think short games are so important. I think that it is so great seeing developers respecting the time of their players.
Yeah,
and
sometimes
giving
having a
them
game you can
experiences
just
that are
play
just
in
as
like an
impactful
hour or
as
two
longer
and be
games
done with
are.
is really
And I
great.
think it's a rebellious act creating short games like this, which are often sort of non-commercial. They're the kind of games that you could never see coming out of the AAA space, and it's the kind of thing that only indies can do. So high fives to everyone that's nominated for this award. You all made beautiful, amazing games.
Oh, I
and
didn't realize
really
this
hope
was
we're gonna
actually an
see more
award
stuff
one. I
like
thought
this in
this
the
was just
future.
another
Here
highlight
are the
one like
nominees
the
for
last one.
Bite-Size Game. Buckshot Roulette by Mike Klipnika.
Really, take it easy, Wisp. Especially the multiplayer version of this is like
Click Holding
you
by
can.
Strange Scaffold.
There's also Strange Scaffold again. I still need to play this one too, because I've heard this game is a trip.
Duck Detective: The Secret Salami by Happy Broccoli Games. Minami Lane by Doot.
I didn't realize this was a short game, or maybe it's just because you're most supposed to play it in like short bursts.
Please Touch the Artwork 2 by Thomas Vaterzoy. Thank Goodness You're Here by Cole
This game is
Supper.
great because you just walk around slapping everything. You solve all of your problems by slapping it. Whatever the problem is, you solve it by slapping something.
And the Indie Game Award goes to Thank Goodness You're Here by
Yeah.
Cole Supper.
The writing on this game is top tier. It's so funny. You're just a short little British guy who goes around slapping everything. You don't think you ever actually speak.
Here from Coalsupper.
Will here from Coalsupper.
We're here in Barnsley Town Centre. We just wanted to say a big heartfelt thank you for the award.
Thank you.
It makes sense they have a short speech for their short game award. There's also one person who runs the shop. If you slap them and they're trying to open the door, you walk up behind them and slap them in the butt, and then they just close the store and the sign pops up and says closed because of Slappy Bum Bum.
Hi, my name is Madison, and I'm a solo developer. Making games by yourself requires you to spend
Also,
a
I
huge
saw
percentage of your life sitting alone at your desk and obsessing over your craft and making things.
Also
Starting
need to
a
play
game
still.
is easy.
So many
and
things I need to play
finishing
still.
A game is grueling, and it's amazing that any game gets made at all, but especially when it's just one human dedicating their life to make something. So our next award celebrates those people who choose to spend their time alone making things for others. Here are the nominees for solo development. Animal Well by Billy Basso.
I wanted to like Animal Well so much. It looks so cool, but it like
Children of the Sun by
hooked
Renee
me by
Rother.
like halfway through.
Crypt Custodian.
Crypt Custodian, that's the one. This game is so cool looking. I played the demo for it. It was really good. people should play Animal Well.
Knuckle Sandwich by Andy
You should still try it. It's still the look of it. I finished it because I thought it looked so damn cool. But
Magical Delicacy by Skull.
this is another one that like I love the look of it, but the demo I couldn't do. I don't know if it's just because I was trying to do it on a demo day. Maybe if I played it out solo, like off stream, it would have been more.
And the Indie Game Award goes
a
to
pull.
Animal Well by Billy Basso.
Yeah, this is wild looking for a solo dev.
Thank you so much. This is just extremely cool. I spent about 7 years working on Animal Well, and for most of that time, it was just this kind of secret personal project that I was kind of embarrassed to even say the name of. So to see it get this level of recognition is very unreal to me. IGN and 6-1 Indie were
Also,
some
the
of
music in it
first
was
groups
crazy
to
good. Like
even
you can kind of hear it in the
cover Animal
background
Well
there.
back when it's still relatively obscure and hardly anyone knew about it. So this feels super genuine. While I did work on Animal Well alone, I still had plenty of help.
Yes, good on him to
making
call that
it,
out.
Into something that many people could actually have access to and marketing it. So I want to thank some people for that. First, my business partner, Dan Edelman, who lent the project his sort of business and marketing wisdom. And when he joined the project, I was able to transition to working full-time, which was amazing. I want to thank Jason and Leah and everybody at Big Mode. I'm still super honored that you chose Animal Well as your first published title. And then I want to thank my
It was also a very
girlfriend
smart grab for them
Madison,
as their first.
who's another solo developer, for just talking with me each day about game design and art and programming, and also for giving me this award. And then, yeah, I just want to thank there's the broader community in general, all the people, in the Discord server, the moderators, people making guides and fan art and
Thank you for the
video
guides, because I
essays
would have
and
never
mods,
beaten
and
this game without
there's
them.
just so much stuff that I keep finding on the internet that blows my mind, and all that stuff just makes it into an infinitely
I would have 100% just
larger
quit
bit
if
of
there wasn't a
culture
guide for me to look
than
up, because some of the
initially
puzzles
made,
I
and
would have
for that I'll always be
never
grateful. Thank you so
figured
much.
out. Like, look at how cool it is, though.
You may have noticed that one game was missing from the category, Aerial Knight's We Never Yield. Back when the nominees dropped, Neil reached out to us and let us know that We Never Yield wasn't a traditionally solo developed game, so he respectfully withdrew it from consideration.
Smart.
However, we still wanted to invite Neil on to be a part of the ceremony and share a few words about Daniel Wilkins, the talented composer behind the Never Yield music, who tragically passed away in November.
Hi, I'm Neil. I was Dan's best friend for a very long time, almost 17 years, where we went to school together, we got our first bank accounts together, and we worked on the Never Yield games together. And I just want to take a second to tell you all how much of an amazing person, developer, and friend Dan was. Dan was a nerd, just like me.
Right.
He loved nothing more than to talk about video games, to play video games, to argue about all types of different things in the video game space, but also call me very early in the morning and talk about what anime I just absolutely had to watch. I want to tell you how much of a dope person he was, how inspiring he was, how he had all these creative and different ideas that would have contributed to video games and just music in general. I could sit here and talk about Dan and how dope he was forever, but we don't have time for that. I would just like to tell you how Dan would love an event like this that honors and praises game developers and gives them their flowers while they're here. One of my favorite things to think about is how there was a time where this guy came up to me and Dan while we were at some event, and he just started telling Dan how amazing he was and how much he loved the music that he created, and how Dan talked about that for days, because oftentimes we don't praise developers. We don't tell them how much we appreciate the work they create. All Dan ever wanted was to make music for video games. So I want to take the time to thank you for giving us the opportunity to make games for you all, for giving us the opportunity to live our dream. And and to let you know how much of a dope person that man was and how much I'm going to miss him. And my hope for all of you is that you all find a friend as good as he was to me. Thank you all so much.
I'm gonna play something from it now. I think I see that. I feel like I remember seeing that picture for this game before. Oh, this music is so good too.
I will only ask once, boys. Give me the crown.
One's on a horse and runs riding a dirt bike.
Playcrafting was integral to our start in the industry, so we're honored to have one of the key
This should be
members of their crew
Cryptmaster.
on to present the category for innovation.
There is nothing like Cryptmaster. It is
Hey everyone,
incredible
I'm
that
Christy
game works.
Cronin.
Oh my god, the
This is
cat.
Dio, and we work at Playcrafting. Over at Playcrafting, we work to
There's
bring
Sailor Moon in the
events,
background.
resources, paid opportunities, and a sense of community to devs at all stages of their career. And tonight, I am so honored to present the award for innovation. Innovation lies at the heart of the indie scene, making indies the lifeblood of the entire industry. It's where new ideas are born and the boundaries of gaming are consistently pushed. Tonight, we recognize the games that stand out for their bold creativity, ones that challenge conventions and redefine expectations. Beyond their artistry, innovative games help democratize the medium. They remind us that gaming isn't solely defined by multi-million-dollar blockbusters. It's an accessible canvas for anyone with a vision. Here are the nominees for innovation. Cryptmaster by Paul Hart, Lee Williams, and Akupara Games.
This game is wild how it works, and the
Karma
fact that
Zoo
it
by Pasta
works.
Games.
I forgot the Karma Zoo came out.
Lorelei and the Laser Eyes by Simogo.
I've heard very good things about this, but I don't actually know anything about it.
Arara by Sven Algrim, Mathilde
Oh, the
Hoffman,
music
and
making
Bastian
one,
Klausdorff.
right? Again, didn't even know that came out.
Rusty's Retirement by Mr. Morris Games.
It's like in
UFO 50 by Mossmouth.
oh UFO 50. It's a still need to play this too. It's got to be Cryptmaster.
And the Indie Game Award goes to Cryptmaster
Yeah.
by Paul Hart, Lee Williams, and Akupara Games. Congratulations.
This is a game where you dungeon crawl and explore by typing everything to the Cryptmaster here.
And I have decided to grace this ceremony with my presence and collect my award in person. After all, it is my game, and I did single-handedly make it in the face of great adversity. For example, the oafish meddling of my two chief minions, Paul Hart and Lee Williams, the Laurel and Hardy of game development. Yeah. Also, continued interference from David Logan and his gang of clowns at Akupara Games, plus incessant noise from the composer Surashu and the game's voice cast of insufferable old hams. So I'm not thanking any of that shower. I gather it's also customary on these occasions to thank the players for enjoying the game. But then I've seen what those degenerates have been doing in my crypt. I will, however, thank the Indie Game Awards for recognizing my excellence. They
The amount of
are a
things that
beacon
this
of
character
sanity
in the actual
and
game
my
responds to is
eternal
wild.
gratitude. Thank you, Indie Game Awards. This is my award. I'm worth it. I'm keeping it. I deserve it. Good night.
So good. Goodbye, crab guy.
Life happens in the blink of an eye, and our next presenter understands how emotionally devastating that can be.
Is that Rain World? Oh god,
Hi,
not
my name's
that
Richard
game.
Beer. I am the engineer and one of the developers of the game Before Your Eyes, released in 2021. We won a BAFTA award. Very proud of what we've done and the impact that the
I've
game
heard
has
some
had on
incredible
our
things about
fans
that, but it's
and
something I
our
wouldn't be able to
players.
stream because you have to
Games
have a
rare
webcam
ability
for
to
it.
move us, making us feel things we didn't expect and creating connections that stay with us long after the credits roll. Tonight, we honor the indies that have profoundly resonated with us this past year. Games that offer personal, emotional, and thematic experiences that leave us a lasting impression. Or, to put it simply, ones that have made us bawl our eyes out. Here are the nominees for emotional impact. In Stars in Time by Insert Disc 5. Kind Words 2 by Pop Cannibal.
Again, I didn't know this came out.
Neva by Nomada Studios.
God, I still need to play this. I'm expecting this one to be as rough as Grease looked.
Self-Loss by Goodwin Games.
I don't think I've heard of this one. Did you beat Niva?
Thirsty Suitors by Outer Loop
Dopey?
Games. Until Then by Polychroma Games.
You did? Was it as bad as it looks like it's going to be?
And the Indie Game Award goes to Neva by Nomada Studios.
Had feelings for sure? Okay. It's so good looking.
Hi, this is Adrian Cobas from Nomada Studio. And I'm Roger Mendoza, and we want to thank you for this award. It's a huge honor on such great games. We want to accept this award on behalf of all the people at Nomada Studio, Berlinese, and everyone who contributed in this project. And of course, we would like to thank the players for supporting us. It is great to see that there's still room for personal stories in video games. Thank you very much. Thank you.
New Blood.
Hello, IGAs, and thank you for this award for recognizing how shitty the industry was for a lot of people over the last year. It's a weird thing to win an award for, but fuck it, here we are. You know, we put up that billboard at Summer Games Fest last year. Shit, I guess that was this year.
Yep.
To pay tribute to our
I
friends who
forgot
got
they
laid
did
off,
this.
but also to let the industry at
But
large
good on
know
them.
that there are still studios out there like New Blood who give a shit, who will always love and respect our friends who make those games. And the truth is, that kind of stuff only happens at the indie level. You know, we don't have any investors, we don't have any shareholders, and we don't have any.
This guy's
masters,
hilarious
so,
on Twitter, by the way.
We can do whatever the fuck we want. You know, we do have a lot of friends. But we are a small company, so we can't hire all those developers. We can't fund all their new projects, but we could put up a finger or we could put up a billboard. So if you take anything away from that billboard or all the layoffs that have happened over the last year, I'll say what I said back then over the summer, and that's to hire those developers, follow their new projects, and shout out when you see them. Oh shit! Look what these former Roll 7 devs are doing. Look what these former Arcane devs are doing. Trust me, they're doing some cool shit. I've seen it. Indie games are the beating heart of the video game industry. And there is absolutely no amount of corporate greed or bullshit layoffs that is ever going to change that.
I've heard very good things about New Blood. Just from the fact that they just let people make wild stuff like Faith.
Back in the Wii U days, there was one indie in particular that helped break into the mainstream with a
I hear Shovel Knight music.
And
yep.
Here we are, a decade later, still talking about it today.
Shovel Knight's so good.
Gameplay design is all about creating mechanics that flow seamlessly, challenge us in just the right way, and keep us fully immersed in our experience. Our next category recognizes indies
Also,
that have
Rip to
excelled in
Nine
this
Souls having to
area.
go up against
Ones that
Balatro.
not only offer stellar mechanics, but make us think outside the box. You know, like using a shovel for more than just digging. Here are the nominees for gameplay design. Balatro by Local Thunk.
This is probably gonna win. Balatro is probably one of the reasons they have
Run
one
by
game per
Soft Rock
category.
Collective.
Run also seems weird because I don't know what this game is. A lot of people don't look up anything about it. Just
Shoot
go
Adventures
play
by
Grun.
Soul Game Studio. Nine Souls by Red Candle
Nine
Games.
Souls also so damn good.
Teeny Glade by Pounce Light.
Again, this is one of those games that the fact that this works like this
Victory
is wild.
Heat Rally by Sky Devil Palm.
I love the way Victory Heat Rally looks.
And the Indie Game Award goes to...
Is it Balatro?
Balatro
Of course.
by
Of
Local
course. Rip Nine Souls.
Thank you for the Gameplay Design Award for Balatro. I adore interesting systems and emergent synergies when I play games, and I set out to create something with those elements for myself and for a few friends of mine when I started working on Balatro 3 years ago. I love that I ended up being able to share this passion project
This
with
damn
so many
clown.
players from all over the world. I want to thank everyone involved in the creation of this game. The whole team at Playstack, Louis F., the musician, Martin DeMayer, my friends, my family, and my partner. I would not be here right now without your support.
Our next presenter is no imposter, never sus, and arguably wears way too many hats throughout the industry.
Tough one between Aggro Crab and
I'm Victoria Tran, the community director at Innersloth, creators of the game Among Us. I'm also the co-signer at our indie game fund Outersloth, a Wholesome Games co-organizer, GDC advisor, and I write a monthly community dev newsletter. As you can probably tell, community management is very important to me, very dear to my heart, and it's a title that covers so much more than most people realize. Whether it's an individual or a whole team, they're the unsung heroes who wear many, many hats and capes, and I guess you could say pants and other clothing items, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Really, they're handling everything from player support to keeping conversations positive, marketing, sometimes PR, organizing events, managing feedback. It goes
community
on.
management seems like an
They endure a
exhausting
lot,
job
but their
because they
work
just make
is
you do
vital in
so
creating
many
a space
things.
where players feel heard, valued, and connected. Our next award celebrates those who have gone above and beyond to foster a vibrant, inclusive community in an industry that can make doing so a little bit challenging at times. Here are your nominees for community management. Aggro Crab.
Aggro Crab is going to be up there. They're they do a lot.
Black Tabby Games.
I need to play that too. Could have played it for Halloween. This one I don't know because I don't see anything
Massive
about this
Monster.
outside of the people playing it. But yeah, that's what it was. Massive Monster, I think, is also going to be way up there.
NPC Studio. Pounce Light.
The rest of these are kind of outside of my wheelhouse of games, so I don't know. That's Fields of Mystery, isn't it?
And the Indie Game Award goes to Aggro Crab.
Yeah.
Holy shuck. Thank you so much for the award in community management.
I think this
at
is the lady
Indie
who
Game
runs their
Awards. When we
TikToks
got
also.
told that Aggro Crab won.
Oh my god, look
I
at
think
the
I
Full Metal
handled it
Alchemist. The-
That's so cool. Like, I just think that I held it together. Like, I really don't think you could tell how I was feeling. I want to bring attention to the studios, devs, and community managers.
Wait,
that were
why is
also
Krill so
nominated
dripped
for
out
this
over
category.
there?
So please make sure that you
I just
check
noticed
out
his
Black TV
outfit.
Games, NPC Studio, Pounce Light, Local Thunk, and also our beloved friends over at Massive Monster. I never thought I would get the opportunity to meet so many incredible people through running the community at Aggro Crab. Over 3 years later, we've grown over 600,000 crab fans across multiple platforms and even more who have played our games. As a community, we always try to bend the limit on what we can say and do as marketing and community. I mean, we're making games. Why can't we tweet about how there are microplastics in your balls and there's nothing you can do about it? Or that we added a gun? Or that Krill has a dumpy? Or that time that we literally just tweeted peanut?
No, you can't say that one.
Why not?
Because a bunch of people are going to be watching, and you probably don't want all of them to hear you say the word peanut.
I want to thank every player in our community who has either purchased our games, played them, said hello at conventions, or even drawn incredibly raunchy fan art that I will never, ever unsee with my eyes. You freaks. Thanks to the support of our community as well, we've managed to raise over $70,000 for a variety of ocean conservation charities, including WDC and Sustainable Coastlines. That's the equivalent of buying another crab's treasure about 2,000 times. You are why we're here today and why we can do such things. Community management is something that is a team effort. I'm so grateful to lead the community for our insane studio, but our community is as incredible as it is thanks to my partners in crime. I mean, our entire studio is filled with talented devs who were willing to pitch in with helping to make funny videos or even pitch an idea or especially help with the freaky content that I couldn't do alone. And I wouldn't have it any other way. They're the best and they are what makes
I'm pretty
Aggro
sure at
Crab.
one point people, I don't remember if it
And
was
finally,
a
I
poll
wanna
or if
give a
people
huge
just
thank
asked,
you
but
to
they
the
also added a
community
crusty
managers of
sock
Aotearoa,
as
New
a
Zealand,
shell that you
and
can
all
use in
the
this
other community
game.
managers throughout the world. You are the backbone of the gaming community. And
So
do not let anyone
their
else
community
tell you
stuff is
otherwise.
off
It
the
would
wall.
be a mess without every single one of you. So thank you again, and Godspeed.
They should have just used the polluted pontoon again. Every opportunity to play that song, they should just take.
Hey,
And this is
we're
Outer
so
Sloth
honored that
for
Outer Sloth is one of
doing
the industry impact
funding.
recipients. That's super cool. Forrest, that's this guy, Inner Sloth, and I are really happy to see how it's taken off like this. For those who don't know, Outer Sloth is our indie game fund that we made after the success of our previous games, Among Us and the Henry Stickmin collection. Thank you so much to anyone who has bought those games, played them, continues to play them. You help us do cool stuff like this, and also just help us survive and grow as a studio with no investors, publishers, or acquisitions. Outer Sloth was designed to offer deals we would have wanted back in our less popular Among Us days. It's our way of combating predatory deals that don't keep the developers' sustainability or
There
success
are
in mind.
also a lot of
Unfortunately, we
predatory
have seen
deals
a
in
lot of those, We
games.
have experienced them, we have been offered them, etc. So yeah, it's a little wild out there. But sharing our success and supporting indie games is incredibly important to us, so we hope this helps devs gain a little bit more independence. Alongside Casey Yano from Mega Crit and a mystery friend contributing to the Outer Sloth money pool, we've signed
A mystery
7
friend?
games since our reveal this year for a total of 16 games and growing. Outer Sloth is our passion project and dream for a better, more sustainable industry.
Actually,
If you'd like
they
to
list
find
what
out
games
more,
they've done.
maybe wishlist the games there, buy the games there, you can always find us at outersloth.com. Either way, keep supporting indie games. Thank you so much.
Games, yeah, they do. No, wait, that's. I wanted other stuff. It didn't send me to the right. I wonder if it doesn't show them yet.
Last week, the Women-Led Games Showcase gave us a glimpse of what's to come in 2025. Tonight, they're here to recognize the standout achievements from the past year.
Hi, I'm Shar, the founder and director of Women Led Games. Indies have always thrived on creativity and fresh perspectives. And
Jumbo.
tonight, we celebrate a studio that's pushing the boundaries of both. Our next award honors the outstanding achievements of a game developed by a women-led team, one that reflects the diverse, greater, more inclusive, and more exciting. Here are the nominees for Women-Led Game. Boardlets by Anti Games.
Remember, right? There's also like a lady who's a rocket scientist who left that to make Gordlets.
Key Locker by Munana.
I heard good
Love
things about.
Ghosty by Janbei Games.
And this is when we were playing like Matchmaker as a ghost, I think.
Mexico 1921, A Deep Slumber by Macala Interactive. Nightmare Cart by LW Media.
Oh my gosh, Nightmare Cart's on here. That used to be Bloodborne Cart before Sony
And The
D&D'd her.
Diamond by Julia Minamata.
They see indeed the
And the
Nightmare
Indie
Cart
Game
dev and then
Award goes to
didn't do anything
Mexico
with Bloodborne.
1921, A Deep Slumber by Macala Interactive.
Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you for taking us into account for this huge honor. Mexico 1921 is our first game for a lot of us in the team, so it's really a crazy thought that we get to be here and that we get the recognition from our peers and from people we admire. It's been a long journey, so I really want to thank our team for making this story a reality and for allowing us to toggle the line between what a game really is. Is a game really an archive? Can an archive be a game? It's been a crazy journey, so all I can really say is thank you for this time, for this space, and I hope we can continue to build a world where games like this and stories like this have a chance. So thank you.
Our next presenter is no stranger when it comes to writing for demons, gods, and secretive townsfolks.
I don't think I've played any of these ones though.
Howdy, I'm Sun M of Perfect Garbage fame, and I'm here to introduce Narrative for the Indie Game Awards. A great story can transport us to new worlds, make us feel deeply for characters we've never met, and challenge our ideas about the world around us. The following indies deliver just that, an unforgettable narrative filled with compelling characters, immersive worlds, and thought-provoking themes. Here are the nominees for Narrative. When Thousand Times Resist by
This might actually
Sunset
take it. I've
Visitor,
heard a lot of people talk about this one.
Arco by Arco Team,
Also, gorgeous looking game.
Caravan Sandwich by Studio Plain Toast, Fear the Spotlight by Cozy Game Pals,
This looks so cool. Oh, excuse me.
Last Time I Saw You by Nagoroshi Artworks,
I didn't know that was out either.
and Mouthwashing by Wrong or
Oh, actually, people go nuts over mouthwashing too. Would be a tough category.
And the Indie Game Award for Best Narrative goes to When Thousand X Resist by
Yep.
Sunset Visitor.
I was right the first time.
Congratulations!
Fine.
My name is Remy Siu, and I'm the creative director at Sunset Visitor Studios.
Hello, I'm Pinky Lee, and I am writer and narrative designer at Sunset Visitor Studios. On behalf of the cast and crew of 1000 Times Resist, thank you. We're so grateful and honored to be awarded Best Narrative.
We want to thank our team, Colin McDougall, and Tan, and Kodai Yanagawa.
We'd like to thank our composers and sound artists, Justin O'Coin, Lynn Cacho, Drew Redman, as well as Connor Wiley, J Lo, James Neves, and our family and friends and mentors for all of their years of support.
As well as our publisher, Fellow Traveler, and the Canada Media Fund for making the game possible. We'd also like to take a moment to thank and congratulate our fellow nominees, which are some of our favorite games this year. Arco, Caravan Sandwich, Last Time I Saw You, Fear the Spotlight, and Mouthwashing. So please buy those games.
We've been blown away by the engagement, support, and love for 1000 Times Resist. To everyone who has taken a moment to play our game, thank you. It means so much to us. And more than ever before, we are reflecting on the power and the privilege of storytelling.
I want to dedicate this award to our grandparents and pets, many of whom passed away during the development of this game. And we wouldn't be the same people we are today without them. So thank you to them for giving us something to carry. Heki Grace.
Heki Grace.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Schafer from Day of the Devs. On behalf of the whole Day of the Devs Board of Directors, the curation committee, and the whole crew that puts together all these shows every year, I want to say thank you to the Indie Game Awards for recognizing Day of the Devs and its efforts to highlight the best in indie games and others. We have been around for over a decade, but last year we became an official nonprofit. Just to make our mission clear, which is this isn't something that we are doing to make money, but something we're doing really to just celebrate video games, to promote the art form, to highlight games that might be overlooked, and also highlight the developers that make those games.
How do you become a nonprofit last year if it's been around for so long?
That is much more of a games festival than a conference of any kind. So thanks again to the Indie Game Awards, and thanks to the whole Day of the Devs crew and everyone who volunteers to put those shows together and spend the time to find the best games out there to bring them to everyone's attention. Thanks to all the developers who share their games and everyone who's shown up to our live show in San Francisco or watched the trailers online. Thanks for supporting Day of the Devs for all these years.
At PAX East 2023, we met with Toge Productions to discuss an idea for this next category, an award to honor someone who makes a significant impact through storytelling each year. When it came time to choose the first recipient, and therefore name the award after them moving forward, there was only one clear choice.
Thank you. Thanks for the opening game because I won't be able to
Oh,
do that.
right. The guy from Coffee Talk.
So, my name is Muhammad Fahmi, but you can just call me Fahmi.
You're the barely alive girl. Yeah, if I remember right, he died in the middle of making this, I think.
Hi, I'm Chris Anthony, founder and CEO of Toge Productions. I work on Coffee Talk together with Fahmi. Fahmi is a great game director, a great colleague, and a great friend. He had made a huge impact during his time at Toge Productions, not only to our studio and everyone in it, but also to the wider indie game development community. Through his games and his kindness, he inspired many people all around the world. I hope that his memories and legacy will continue to be remembered and that his work will be able to inspire many more.
Only sometimes early?
My name is Sasha Ariana from Pixelnesia and Togi Productions. I had the privilege of being one of Fahmi's closest friends and collaborators. I've worked alongside him on What Comes After
No
and
comment.
Afterlife EP. Since his
Hey,
passing,
Benzeli.
I've taken on the responsibility of continuing the narrative work for Afterlife EP in his honor. Fahmi was more than a friend to me, and his loss was a profound blow that left me deeply shaken for a long time. And witnessing the collective grief within the indie game community only
Alright.
reaffirmed how deeply his absence is
Keep
felt.
sinking my chair.
And it's no exaggeration to say that the industry lost a voice that is truly irreplaceable. Fahmi was a storyteller of rare passion and vision, brimming with narratives he longed to share with the world. And although his time with us was far too brief, I take solace in the stories that he brought to life through his games. And I hope we continue to share stories to each other in whatever medium we see fit and carry his legacy forward.
I've been the
Selaku orang tua
been
Muhammad Fahmi
hold on.
merasa bangga menerima penghargaan ini. Terima kasih kepada pihak penyelenggara atas apresiasi yang diberikan untuk Fahmi. Terima kasih juga kami sampaikan kepada semua pihak yang selama ini selalu mensupport Fahmi.
Kecintaan dia akan industri game lah yang membawa namanya dikenal. Bagi Fahmi, game bukan sekedar hiburan, namun juga sarana membangun imajinasi dan menciptakan dunia yang bermakna. Penghargaan ini menunjukkan betapa besar dampak yang dia tinggalkan. Meskipun Fahmi sudah tidak bersama kita, semangat dan cerita-ceritanya masih hidup di hati kita dan terus menginspirasi bagi siapa saja yang memainkannya.
Thank you so much. Coffee Talk was a very personal project for me. It helped me through a very weird time in my life, and I'm glad if it can help you in some kind of ways too. I just want to say thank you. This game basically changed my life, and you, the players, are part of the things that changed my life for the better. So thank you so much.
It's been 2 years, Jesus. I've been good. Just kind of been all over the place schedule-wise with the holidays and stuff. Like off on.
Our final presenter of the evening is currently developing what we
Game of the
many
Year.
believe will be a future Game of the Year contender here at the IGAs.
No pressure.
I think it might be another Crab's Treasure. Nine Souls was good, but I think I like Crab Treasure
all you
more.
party people. We finally made it. We're here at the final award of the night. My name is Davion Gooden. I'm the creative director over at Studio Xavier and the developer of the surreal adventure RPG, She Dreams Elsewhere, coming soon. And it is my honor and a privilege to present the big kahuna, the big cheese itself, Game of the Year. Now, look, I know we all just love award season. We all love the discourse. We all love asking questions like, oh, what's the point of award shows? And why did this get nominated? Why didn't that get nominated? Davion, when's your game coming out? And honestly, all those thoughts and questions are valid and also extremely stupid. Because Game of the Year, it's more than just a title. It's more than just an award. It's a celebration. It's a celebration of the games that have come out and had a profound impact on this industry and its players, whether it be for their artistic direction, excellence in storytelling, unique gameplay mechanics, or because they were really just that good. The following indies have done just that. They've captured our imaginations and redefined
So what's your Game of the Year
possible
so far,
within our
really?
industry. And on behalf
I guess it
of
wouldn't
our
even be so
entire
far. There's not
community,
much time
I am
left in the
so,
year.
So grateful for their existence. So without further ado, here are the 10 lovely nominees for Game of the Year. 1,000 Times Resist by Sunset Visitor.
It's gonna be a very stacked game of the year list for this one.
Animal Will by Billy Basso. Arco by Arco Team. Balatro by Local Thunk. Crypt Custodian by Kyle Thompson. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes by Simogo.
Weird that okay. So my chat thing only showed the frowny face, not the entire message that you sent. Okay, that's why I was like, what's the frowny
Never
face for?
By Namada Studio.
And no Indica.
9 Souls by Red Candle Games.
Very good game. Very good game.
And UFO 50 by Mossmouth.
Wait, was another crap treasure not in this list?
So, without further shenanigans, the Indie Game Award goes to Balatro
Yeah,
by Local Thunk.
not surprising.
I'm honored to accept this award for Game of the Year. I've had the pleasure of playing some incredible indie games in this past year, including a lot of the fellow nominees, and I'm so proud to represent such a vibrant, creative, and diverse corner of the games industry. Our games are able to take big design.
Funny is, this was apparently a prototype that he made just because he was like bored.
Was truly a banner year for independent games.
And then like his
However,
friends
the thing that
encouraged
sticks
him
out
to
me the
finish it
most
or
since I
something like
announced
that.
Balatro is the incredible love and support from my fellow indie devs. This is a hard industry, and every person I've spoken to has been passionate, kind, and willing to lend a helping hand without fail. There are a lot of wonderful humans in this line of work, and I would love to share this award with every one of them. I stood on a lot of shoulders to be here, and I hope I can pay a fraction of the success forward.
Since people get like stupidly hooked on this game.
Now that we know the proper pronunciation of Balatro and we know who we're mailing all these awards to, that is a wrap on the inaugural Indie Game Awards.
Congratulations to all of our nominees and recipients, and thank you to all of our incredible presenters who took the time to help us celebrate a fantastic year for indies.
To all of our fellow showcases, journalists, content creators, organizations, and more who made tonight a reality, thank you. The IGA started as a text exchange back in 2022 amongst the 6-1 Indie crew, and it feels surreal to be here with you all in this moment.
Once again, thanks to the sponsors who came in to support the ceremony at a moment's notice. Pocket Pair, Very OK Vinyl, V Publishing, and the Powell Group, as well as Playcrafting and Brookland for throwing the official viewing party.
While tonight was a celebration for the scene, it would be foolish to end the evening without recognizing how tough of a year it's been. As Dave discussed earlier,
Sure, next year will be just as bad.
By layoffs, studio closures, and consolidation, and unfortunately, it doesn't end there. The war in Ukraine continues to wreak havoc on so many lives. Palestinian and Lebanese families continue to suffer in the Middle East. Women's rights are dwindling. The livelihoods of our queer, trans, and BIPOC friends and family are put at risk daily. It's now more important than ever to treat one another with kindness and respect and support those you love. So with air in your lungs and blood in your veins, thank you all for being here with us to celebrate the games that help give us an escape.
The Indie Game Awards will return in 2025, and gears
Hey,
are
how'd it go
already in
to you?
motion to elevate this proof of concept into an unforgettable event for the foreseeable future. We want to build the IJs together, so if you have a moment, we'd love to
Time
hear
for the
your
end,
feedback.
yeah.
Head on over to the
It was a good
official
award
website
show, though.
where you can fill out a survey with your thoughts on tonight's ceremony. And of course, don't forget to support all of the nominees.
I'm sure you knew about
presenters,
Crypt
and
Keeper
more
already.
by checking out the IJ Steam event.
Thank you. Happy holidays and play more indies.
Oh, Crypt Master, excuse me. Why did I say told you 2 weeks ago? I figured, yeah. Especially if they had recordings for it already. I can't imagine that you dragged the Crypt Master up on short notice to record that. The whole time I was watching that, I was like, I don't think there's anything else nearly as like crazy as. It did seem like it. That's what the whole time I was playing it, I was like, that's got to be very close to this. All right, and I think that's the last thing I can think of that we're co-streaming for a while. Can't think of anything else coming up until probably the summer event stuff. So, all right, there's the Indie Game Awards, and again, the majority of those games I actually knew or played them. Unlike like the Game Awards, I'm like, I'm never gonna play the newest Hoyo game. I don't have the time. Streaming, yeah, no problem, Soapy. Hopefully, the good thing too is that a lot of these games you'll actually be able to play too. All right. Yeah, but that's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna go get some dinner. I hope everybody has a good night. If you're on YouTube, I will see you tomorrow night for Voices of the Void. I also cut down should be live right now. The Cabin Factory stream, I cut it down into just itself, so it's not that. And what else did I play after that? Phasmo. So if you want to go check something else out after this stream, you can go see that right over here. But I will see you tomorrow, YouTube. Have a good night. Bye-bye.